What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Let's get right off into this. And the battle rap community continue to patiently await, anxiously, uh, understanding what will be the fate of Tsunami Surf, who's allegedly being said to be under a federal indictment under the RICO law. His manager came out saying it. According to Butterfly, he told him also. And the battle rap community just at a loss of words to some degree. Everybody just shaking their head like, wow, like here we go again. Surf took to social media. And Surf put up something, a message, like basically just in deep thought, thinking about his future or how things may finna turn out, knowing he had one of the biggest fights of his life, fighting a federal RICO law against a system that got a 95% conviction. 95% conviction rate. So he took to social media. And on the tweet it read, I broke my daughter's heart. Those of y'all who don't know, Surf has one daughter. One child, one daughter. Being the father myself, man, I sympathize for that child. Because as parents, when you in your children's life, they look at you and being their hero. Rather mother, rather father. They believe that there's nothing we can't do. They feel so secure and protected under our care. They be so happy with love in our presence. And when you a so-called good father or mother, your children love the fact of knowing you theirs, that you they mama, you they father. So I know he broke his daughter's heart. Imagine he got to tell her that. And remember, I think he said that at one time when he was fighting the case the last time, they had to tell the daughter to some nature. I just want to make sure I'm saying this right. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. That he was in college or something. Like he went away. He was at school when he really was in jail. I think it was something like that. He either said it in a song or this is what was being said when he was fighting the gun case a couple of years back. That I think they didn't want to let her know that he was in jail. They said something about he was going away in college or however. So she wouldn't be worried about her father or wanting to be with her father. And that's torturing on a child, man. That's very torturing on a child, man. And that's another reason why I can never go back to that life. I have a choice to make. I can't be a gangster and a father. You just can't. I don't care how you convince yourself into believing it, but you can't do it. You can't. Your family needs you, and the streets is calling for you. You can't do them both because one take away from the other. If the streets calling for you, you're leaving your family. If your family calling for you, you're leaving the streets. You don't bring the streets into your house. You don't bring the streets around your children. You don't supposed to. We know that people do that because they mix them in together. You can't do that. You're going to find out the hard way when trying to mix them in together. Family lose out every time. The woman you love, you lose her. The children you call by your name, you lose them. And now you done put them in the hands of an enemy. Now your daughter and your son looking up to another guy. Now the woman you love, who you didn't appreciate and you didn't value and you didn't know her worth, now she land with somebody else. And 9 times out of 10, you either dead or you gone away. That's very heartbreaking when you got to tell your daughter, I messed up. My past came back and got me. I'll be gone away for a long time. And the child not really understanding just what that really means. Just like they don't really understand what death is. See, knowing it and experiencing it is 2 different things. When she used to getting calls from her father and she used to texting him, waking up to his text, going to sleep to his text, or texting him in the middle of the, I'm pretty sure Surf love his daughter. I mean, no matter what you think about it, that's his only child. How could you not think about it? But this is the problem that happens in home when you don't have father figures in the house to chastise, to correct, to discipline, to lead by example, to snap that guy by the collar like, hey, what are you doing? To protect your children from outside and from gangs, from that influence. That's going to lead them away from their children. Those things like that. That's very heartbreaking. If y'all don't know me by now, I think deep at things, man. I'm a deep thinker. And I visualize how that conversation goes. When he find out this news. And at the time he find out about it, now everything going on in his mind and heart because he know it's real. He know it's real. And he ain't going to see just how real till he hit that precinct and turn himself in. And them handcuffs go on him. And them doors close behind him. That's when reality going to really, really kick in. Even though it's kicking in on another level. Where you have to gather your thoughts and get your mind and heart right. And now you got to get your affairs in order. You have to tell that to your mama. You got to tell that to the woman you love. Knowing that the relationship is basically over. You know, she be like, no, I'm going to be here, babe. I ain't going to leave. I'm all done. You're not going to be here for me like that. You young. You beautiful. You got your whole life ahead of you. And no real man will want her to be there for him like that, knowing that he put himself in that situation. You don't want that girl giving up her life for you for 10, 15, 20 years. That's selfish. I just tell her, hey, I don't blame you. You got your whole life ahead of you. I did this. It'd be unfair for me to tell you to stay. Live your life, do what you do. If you remember me, you remember me. But that'd be unfair for me to tell you to stay. Troubling part in telling your daughter. You gotta look her in her eyes. She could tell by your face something ain't right. She's scared now. It ain't bothering you because you know this your only seed. Now you're looking back at your life how none of this was worth it. The money wasn't worth it. The drugs wasn't worth it. The gang, none was worth it. None of what's worth it. Leaving your niggas ain't nothing. Leaving your child, leaving the woman you love, now you see who really was important. Now you see what family all is about. Now you see what it's all about, only for it to be too late. Now you wishing you could have tomorrow back to appreciate that woman, value that woman, and just be with her. Taking for granted the times you could have spent with your daughter and you didn't because you with your niggas and busting moves and doing this. Now you want all that back. And you want all that back. It's too late. And then the child is so hurt because she loved her father. That's her only father. She don't have two, three. And her father was getting money, so I'm pretty sure she didn't have a want for nothing. And it ain't even about that. To her, what mattered to her is she meant the riding in the car and passenger seat and seeing his face and knowing she the only child and being able to say, Daddy, Daddy. I never get used to hearing my kids say my name. I'm keeping it real. As a father, I never get used to hearing my kids say my name. It sounds brand new every time they say it. Every time your daddy, it's like music to my ears. It sounds so beautiful and uplifting to me. And when they say daddy, I want to answer. I want to, when I say I want to answer, that means I want to fix whatever it is that they calling my name for. Now I'm beginning to understand what God feels by being a father myself. Now I'm seeing how he feel about us. Thank you, Lord. I remember those times. I remember like when I got arrested the last time. I was so caught up into those streets. I forgot how beautiful my baby mama was. I forgot how rich and blessed I was within my own home with my children. But I'm trying to do everything to please everybody and doing everything. My niggas this, my niggas that. We this. We talking about all these plans and everything we gonna do as a gang and the crew and my niggas, this and that, this and that. When I got arrested, I was in the back of the paddy wagon, hand tied behind my back, behind that paddy wagon. With my hand tied behind my back, cuffed behind my back. And my baby mama had just made it on the scene. And they were telling her like they got him in that one right there. Cause she was looking which police car I was in. She was so beautiful, man. She got out so beautiful. Like, and I was just looking at her like nothing else didn't even matter. And it's like for a moment, I just remembered how beautiful she was. But all the time she was with me every day and all that, I forgot. She came out the car, her hair was, and she was dressed like body was right in pain. I forgot. I was like, she's so beautiful. Forgot how beautiful she was. Because I allowed that street life to distract me from what I supposed to have been doing as a father and a provider and a husband. Then I saw my son sitting on the step, looking into the car and have no clue what's going on, but sensing something is wrong. watching his hero defeated. And I remember they called me for a visit. They said, Mr. Baker, you have a visit. I came up to the visiting room and it was my baby mama with my son. And we was behind the glass. And he was sat outside, like, and he just was looking at me through the glass. So I'm talking to her. And he wouldn't take his eyes off me. And then I was like, put him on the phone. Let me speak to him right quick. And she was like, here, your daddy wants you. He was like, but he kept his eyes on me. He was like, she like, here, your daddy wants you. He was like, Dad was looking at me. Like y'all looking at me on the screen. That's how he was looking at me. That's the glass between me and him. He like, silent, wouldn't say a word. She like, here, your daddy wants you. Speak to your daddy. Looking at me like I betrayed him. Looking at me like I let him down. Then his mama said to me, I was like, it's okay. She said, he been like that ever since you left. I said, for real? She said, yeah. She said, I went to go pick him up from school the other day. And the teacher was like, oh, you have a smart son. Because while all the other kids and them were telling me all the gifts they wanted for Christmas, because it was around Christmas time coming up. She's like, so I was asking the children what all they wanted for Christmas, and all the kids telling me they want toys and things. She said, but when I got to your son and I asked him, I said, Malachi, what do you want for Christmas? She said, and he just stood up calmly and said, I want for Christmas for nobody to go to jail. She said the teacher said, that just touched my heart when I heard him say that, like he really have a love for people. And my baby mama was like, she just broke down in tears because the teacher didn't know what he was meaning by that, but she knew what he was meaning because I was gone. I was locked up. She told me that. She was like, the teacher didn't know. She said, I couldn't even help it. I just broke down in tears because I knew what he meant. And then she said, and ever since you been gone, he been pissing in the bed now. Like, he never did that stuff. She like, yeah. He be pissing in the bed now. And he don't smile as often as he used to. When the visit was over, right? And they was walking away. You know how like a parent got the child by the hand and the parent keep walking? She walking away because she's seeing what it goes so that they won't run to nothing. So she forward. He looking back while she got his hand. He looking at me. He just never took his eyes off me until they turned the corner and I couldn't see him no more. I remember walking back to my cell. It's like I could hear the Spirit of the Lord just talking to me that night. Like, is this what your life come to? This what your life come to? When are you going to change? It's like I could literally hear God speaking to my heart. That broke me down, man. And I went in that cell, man, and I sat on that bed, man, just disgusted with myself. Just disgusted with myself. I had everything and gave it up for nothing. I gave up the woman I love. I gave up my children. I gave up my future for temporarily satisfaction with guys and girls and drugs and pride and compliments. When all along I was rich in my own family. And I knew right then and there, change starts right now. Because if I'm not willing to change right now, I'm not going to do it later on. And God began to deal with me, and God began to change me. But I was so disgusted in myself because I knew I was better than this. I knew I deserved more than this. And I knew I should have done the right thing. But I allowed the enemy to keep distractions in my life and throw me off the vision of providing for my family the right way and separating myself from the streets to be a better man for my wife and my children. So yeah, I could understand what Sir feeling. I could relate to what he's saying and what he means. Sad thing about it is these revolving doors continue to be just that, revolving doors. The blind lead the blind, they all fall in the ditch, and one person following the footsteps of another. And the results is all the same. We really need to wake up. And what I told y'all, when y'all praying for him, you pray that God change his heart. You pray that he man enough to come to the knowledge of Jesus Christ, that he may be a better father for his child, that he may be a better son, that he repent of his sins, that he become a giver and not a taker. And you pray for that little girl, that God protect her from this evil world. You pray that God keep her at peace while she suffered through that mental anguish she about to go through as a result of missing her father who she loved. So yeah, I understand. I can relate.